Welcome to the problem with modern love. In today's world, relationships can feel more complicated than ever. Did you know that about 50% of marriages in the US end in divorce? That's a shocking number. And even for those who stay together, only 30% of couples report being truly happy. What's going wrong in the way we love and connect? In a time when dating apps are booming, around 30% of US adults have tried online dating. It seems we're constantly searching for the next best thing. But this endless search can leave us feeling empty. Research shows that people who rely heavily on dating apps often end up feeling more isolated and dissatisfied in their relationships. It's a real problem that many don't talk about. In this video, we'll explore 6 key issues with modern love. From the trap of swipe culture to the unrealistic standards set by social media, we'll uncover what might be holding you back from real happiness in your relationships. You'll learn practical strategies to break free from these patterns and build deeper connections. So, are you ready to discover the truth about modern love and how to make it work for you? Let's dive in. Chapter 1: The Swipe Culture Trap. In today's world, dating apps are at the center of how people meet. We're all just one swipe away from a potential partner. But what's the cost of this? Studies show that dating apps often create what's called choice overload. Too many options can lead to people feeling paralyzed or worse, unsatisfied even after making a choice. According to research by Stanford University, around 30% of US adults have used online dating apps, but many report frustration. Why? The constant swiping makes it hard to focus on one person. It's like we're shopping for people instead of connecting with them. One strategy to break out of this trap is to limit your time on dating apps. Don't treat it like a video game. Spend more time talking to one person and give that conversation space to grow. A University of Chicago study found that couples who met online are more likely to break up if they rely only on surface-level connections. Instead of endlessly swiping, make the effort to ask meaningful questions early on. Ask yourself, is this person really aligned with my values and goals? Also, consider taking a break from dating apps altogether. The real world is full of opportunities to meet people, through friends, hobbies, or even volunteering. This shift can help you develop deeper, more meaningful relationships without feeling like love is something you shop for. Chapter 2: Emotional Fast Food, Quick Fixes, Long-Term Heartbreak. Just like fast food, quick emotional gratification can feel great in the moment, but it doesn't last. Many people turn to casual flings or hookups, thinking it's an easy way to feel connected. But what does the data say? A study by the American Psychological Association found that people involved in casual relationships are more likely to report feelings of emptiness and regret. They often chase the high of a new connection without investing in the emotional groundwork needed for long-term happiness. If you want to avoid this cycle, focus on creating emotional depth. One approach is to slow things down. Take time to really get to know someone. Instead of rushing into physical intimacy, build an emotional bond first. As relationship expert Esther Perel says, the quality of your relationships determines the quality of your life. Building a strong foundation based on trust and communication will bring more fulfillment in the long run. Another strategy is to practice mindfulness in relationships. Being fully present when you're with someone, whether it's on a date or in a conversation, helps build a stronger connection. It's easy to get distracted by your phone or other things on your mind. But showing real interest in the other person makes them feel valued, and that's where emotional intimacy starts to grow. Chapter 3: Romantic Consumerism, Are We Shopping for Love? In the age of Amazon and endless choice, it's no surprise that relationships are often treated like products. We think, if this one doesn't work out, I'll just find another. This is what experts call romantic consumerism. The idea is that people treat love like a marketplace. But here's a surprising stat: according to the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, couples who frequently think they have better alternatives are twice as likely to break up. If you want to avoid this trap, try reframing how you see your partner. Instead of viewing them as replaceable, focus on their unique qualities. Relationships aren't products, they take effort. Psychologist Dr. John Gottman, known for his research on relationship stability, says the key is to turn toward your partner instead of away. This means addressing issues directly, showing appreciation, and being emotionally available, especially during tough times. Another way to combat romantic consumerism is to set realistic expectations. Social media often shows the highlight reel of relationships, making us feel like ours are lacking. But the truth is, real love involves ups and downs. As researcher Brené Brown says, imperfections are not inadequacies, they are reminders that we're all in this together. Building a strong relationship requires patience, empathy, and a willingness to work through problems rather than replacing someone at the first sign of trouble. Lastly, consider taking a relationship detox from social media. Scrolling through pictures of perfect couples can create unrealistic expectations. Instead, focus on nurturing the relationship you're in, appreciating the present moment, and investing in growth as a couple. If you're finding value in this content, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more insights on building meaningful relationships. Chapter 4: The Myth of Perfection. Unrealistic Standards in Love. Modern love is often shaped by unrealistic standards. Movies, social media, and even romance novels have created an idea of perfect love that's impossible to achieve. According to a 2020 study by the University of Kansas, 74% of couples said they felt pressured to meet these idealized relationship standards. But perfection doesn't exist in love, and expecting it can lead to frustration and disappointment. One way to combat this is to shift your mindset. Instead of looking for perfection, look for growth. As relationship expert Dr. Alexandra Solomon suggests, the goal is not to find the perfect partner but to find someone with whom you can grow. When both partners focus on improving themselves and supporting each other's development, it creates a much stronger bond than trying to meet an unrealistic ideal. Another strategy is to embrace vulnerability. Dr. Brené Brown, an expert in vulnerability and relationships, points out that true intimacy is built when we allow ourselves to be seen as imperfect. Perfectionism blocks connection because it creates a barrier between partners. When you show your flaws and allow your partner to do the same, it fosters deeper trust and emotional intimacy. It's also important to be kind to yourself. Many people enter relationships expecting themselves to be flawless too. But real love involves patience, understanding, and acceptance of both your partner and yourself. Letting go of perfection allows relationships to breathe and grow in more authentic ways. Chapter 5: Self-Love or Self-Centered? The fine line. Self-love is important, but in today's culture, it can sometimes shift into self-centeredness. Many people are so focused on personal growth and finding themselves that they neglect the needs of their partner. This is what experts call self-centered individualism, and it can harm relationships. According to a study published in the Journal of Family Psychology, couples who prioritize individual needs over mutual support are more likely to experience conflict and dissatisfaction. So how do you strike the right balance? Start by practicing empathy. Instead of only thinking about your needs, try to see things from your partner's perspective. Relationship therapist Esther Perel says, empathy is what makes a relationship flourish. Without it, the connection will struggle to survive. By focusing on how your actions affect your partner, you create a relationship where both people feel heard and valued. Another strategy is to share personal growth with your partner. Instead of going through self-development alone, involve them in your journey. Research shows that couples who grow together tend to stay together. According to a study from the University of California, couples who work on shared goals are 65% more likely to report long-term relationship satisfaction. You can attend a workshop together, set fitness goals, or even work on emotional skills like communication. Lastly, remember that self-love isn't about always putting yourself first. It's about building self-awareness and learning to take care of your emotional needs without neglecting your partner. Healthy relationships thrive when there's a balance between self-love and the love you give to others.